folks, Seth Larsen. Today we're going to address a few of the troubles we have with varmint rifles. Some of the things we want to address. Starting out, let's talk about our barrel. I mean, most people know we don't have to go over too much about the barrel. The more shots you shoot, the faster it's going to wear out. So we want to increase the longevity of your barrels, and we want to get accuracy. We're shooting for sub MOA, sub half-inch MOA with these varmint rifles. If you're shooting squirrels at 200-300 yards, you can't have a gun that's going to shoot even a half-inch MOA. You need sub half-inch MOA. And besides having a nice fancy gun you spend a bunch of money on, you need to have clean, spick and span, no buildups. You don't want to have any carbon buildup. You don't want to have any gunk in your action, in your chamber, in your ports. None of that. The more buildup you have, the less consistency you're going to get. And so what we want to address today here on Xtreme Shooting is how we can reduce the amount of buildup that you get on your barrel, in your action, in your ports, in your chamber. Today we've got a gun here. It's been shot 10 times. On these guns, I mean, you spend $1,000 on your gun, $2,000 on your gun, a couple thousand on your scope, and you have all this fancy equipment. But if you can't get it to shoot good groups, then all of your money was in vain. And we all know that part of shooting good groups is having clean equipment. I wanted to again get you to zoom in on this magazine here. You can see after 10 shots, this has been in my truck. You know, we go out and shoot squirrels and rock chucks and coyotes, whatever we do, and for varminting. And this is rolling down my truck. I cleaned it 10 shots ago. It's a couple days ago is all. And already you can see the amount of the buildup that's in there just from dust. I mean, that's not really carbon buildup, but it's dust and grime and slime. It's just because you're driving around. And we want to reduce the amount that can possibly get in there and stay in there. Now, with this Xtreme Shooting Lube that we have here today, the difference is its viscosity. I think that's a big part of why this lube is better than other lubes. I mean, there are great lubes out there. I don't want to discount any other lubes, but you know, there's good and there's better. And I think this lube is better because of its viscosity. It just doesn't stick to things. It doesn't fill in your cracks. It's easy to wipe off, and things don't stick to it very well. So I mean, when you get your bolt out and you clean your magazine and you take your barrel off and your action out, and we all know that when you're out in the field shooting, you know, like me, for example, I go out, I usually get about 10 shots before I like to clean, because I feel like I start to lose accuracy after 10 shots. And if I could get 12 shots, I mean, if I shoot 50 times in a day and I can shoot 10 extra shots without cleaning, well, that's that much better. You know, or if I could get 15 shots without having to clean my gun, that's just that much better. You know, if there's 50 rock checks out there and I got to stop and let half of them go down in their burrows, then I didn't get to shoot them all. So I like to get as many shots as I can, and I like to keep the heat in my barrel down. That's one of the advantages of this Xtreme Shooting Lube, is because it resists higher temperatures. It's able to keep the friction in your barrel down, and it also keeps the heat down. And that heat and friction have a major role in the barrel life. And so we're trying to extend our barrel life. We're trying to get good accuracy with less cleanings. All of those things are addressed with Xtreme Shooting Lube. And the other thing that I particularly like about the Xtreme Shooting Lube is that when you wipe it on your barrels, and I don't particularly wipe it on my scope. In fact, when I clean, I put a cover over my scope. But when you wipe it on your stainless steel, and you know, you have some aluminum parts in here as well, all of that, it's non-corrosive. It just protects it really well. And so like when I drive my truck, we're driving on dusty dirt roads out here in Idaho, and there's just a lot of dirt, dust, everything you can imagine. And, you know, our trucks are full of dust. Every time somebody sits down, poof, a big old dust comes up. And so the best way to keep that off is using a lube that doesn't have it enough viscosity to where the dust will stick in it, but it protects it against moisture. There's just a number of things. I mean, if it's raining, or if it has rained, if you have high humidity, and you know the condensation on your barrel from heating up and cooling down, all of those things have they play a big role on keeping your accuracy. I found that, you know, if with a clean barrel, with a clean gun, that I can shoot 100 shots, 200 shots in one day at squirrels, at rock chucks, or whatever, or target shooting. I have this particular gun we have set up to shoot out to 1,000 yards. And so, I mean, if that's the way I want to just shoot to see how I do, then I'm confident because of the cleanliness of the barrel, because of the smooth, and the other thing, just the smoothness of your action. With having a lube that doesn't gunk up, it just flows nice and smooth. That's the things we wanted to talk about.